heart of southern Pennsylvania lies Lancaster County, a beautiful landscape assemblage of farmland and rolling hills, which is well known for its large Amish community. However, Lancaster is also known for another thing: the largest concentration of puppy mills in the country.
Max is a victim of the pet industry. He is an adult Chihuahua that was used for breeding. He came from a commercial breeder where his sole purpose was to reproduce and create puppies for the pet industry. Oftentimes many of the puppies that you see in pet stores and even oftentimes for sale on the internet come from places where their parents are living in less than ideal conditions. He is used only for the purpose of breeding. They are not considered to be pets. As you can see, Max doesn't even really like to make eye contact, and that is because he's extremely shy and under-socialized. Max has never lived in a home environment. He's only ever lived in a kennel, and his exposure to things in the outside world has been pretty much non-existent. Max is extremely fearful, and he's not quite sure what all of this is about because he's never been outside of his cage. He has been put in with a female dog for the purpose of breeding and procreating, and then I would imagine taken back out again and lived in a cage until he was going to be used for breeding again.
Breeder dogs reach old age and are no longer able to procreate. They are often exterminated. However, recently breeders have begun surrendering their animals to shelters and rescue organizations rather than killing the animals. But it is a small percentage of breeders that have chosen this much more humane option. It is only with the help of rescues and shelters that puppy mill survivors can begin their journey of recovery. The SPCA offers obedience training, youth and adult education programs, the Second Chance Fund, which provides veterinary care and treatment for sick and injured animals, low-cost spay and neuter assistance, and even a safe pet program for the animals of domestic abuse victims.
These are dogs that are to some degree traumatized and almost probably would be more comfortable back in the situation with which they came from because it's all they've known. Not to say that that's where we want them to stay, but you know, if a dog's been chained out its whole life and then you think you're doing the kind thing by removing it from its chain, yes, what you're doing is you're opening up a whole new world to that dog, but when all that dog is known is its doghouse and its chain, you know, it can be overwhelming, and these dogs find the outside world from the environment in which they've grown up to be extremely overwhelming. It's all new to them. They don't understand it, And what you get is a dog that is institutionalized for all intents and purposes.
The public's want for purebred puppies have led to a demand that is filled by puppy mill breeders. Approximately 90% of puppies sold in pet stores come from puppy mills. However, anywhere from 25 to 30% or more of these puppies eventually end up in public shelters.
Through attention from the public and possibly by catching the attention of the media, the public has persuaded the media to report more on the plight of dogs coming from commercial breeders. There has been more attention paid to this industry as a whole, and it has become pretty unpopular for the commercial breeders to destroy the dogs rather than turn them over to somebody that's willing to take them and to help them. So I think in certain situations they've accepted the offer of that help.
It is estimated 1 million puppies are born in Pennsylvania each year in these commercial breeding operations or puppy mills. Approximately 53 dog wardens oversee more than 2,100 puppy mills. On October 10, 2008, Governor Ed Rendell signed the Puppy Mill Bill, HB 2525, that he and the Bureau of Dog Law Enforcement championed through the legislature. The bill consists of new standards of care that commercial breeders will have to supply, such as dogs having bigger cages that can't be stacked, twice-a-year vet exams, some form of exercise, and flooring that is not all wire-through or completely solid. Though Pennsylvania has an extensive dog law and a bureau devoted to dogs, the puppy mills remain crude operations where dogs live in deplorable, torturous conditions.
It's a huge industry. It's a huge industry, and it's a legal industry. It's legal. You can farm dogs as though they are a crop, and we're quick to blame the breeders. I think that it's sad, and I'm not happy about the conditions that the dogs live in, and I think that for the majority of the public, we know our animals as pets, as companions, as friends. We share our beds with them, we share our homes with them, we spend our free time taking them to PetSmart and to the park and looking for activities where we can include our dogs. But this isn't just a problem that has been created by the breeders. This is a problem that has been created by the public's want of these dogs. If people stopped buying puppies from sources such as the internet and puppies, puppy pet stores, then obviously the breeders would have nothing to breed because there wouldn't be, it's a supply and demand thing. And they're simply creating the supply for a demand that exists.
We got our first dog as a pet, and about 6 months after we had him, we decided to get another dog. I failed to tell my husband that the second dog I bought was a show dog, and that's how it all started. And that was private breeders are breeding puppies to create puppies for pets, to make good family pets, to create show dogs, healthy, better animals. Commercial breeders are breeding puppies for profit. These people do no health screenings, they do no follow-ups. I can tell you right now where 95% of my puppies are, who they're with. I know any health issues they've had, not just in puppyhood, but throughout their adult years. The commercial breeders don't do that. All they care about is getting them out the door and getting them in the pet store, or getting them to a broker to get them on the road. They don't follow up and they don't follow through.
Only 15% of the public visits animal shelters when looking for a pet. Nationally, shelters care for roughly 6 to 8 million cats and dogs yearly, but about 3 to 4 million end up being euthanized, whether due to medical issues, behavioral problems, or simply because they are not adopted.
You can go to your local shelter. They have a variety of breeds. I think there's a misconception that all the shelters have are mixed breeds, although that's actually a great dog to have because mixed breeds are extremely healthy. But the misconception is that we don't have pure breeds and that we don't have puppies. And we don't have kennels and kennels filled with puppies in the Northeast like they do have that problem in the South. But we certainly have an abundance of adoptable dogs in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors that are to some degree recycled pets. I mean, they were not able to be retained in their previous homes, or they're strays that nobody came looking for, and these dogs need a place to go.
I don't know what I would do with myself if I didn't have the dogs. They're my best friend, they're my family, they're completely non-judgmental. No matter how bad of a day you're having, the dog doesn't care. They're there. To quote Roger Karras, dogs aren't our whole life, but they make our lives whole.
The travesties that have been felt by these animals is nothing short of atrocious. These living, breathing creatures want nothing more in life than to love and be loved. Every puppy mill survivor like Max must endure through a long healing process from the hardships of their pasts. But with guidance, patience, and care, they can move into the future free of the burden of pain and sadness, with the greatest hope that one day they will each find a place to call home.